We're still on hold, right? Jay?
We're on hold, right?
Okay, hold on.
We were talking about clients being late, how we handle that, clients being stressed out, and how you handle that, or even clients being nervous.
Find it on the bottom.
I think it's
Joe.
I'm Bernice.
I'm sorry.
Bernice. It's not
Rashawn.
Just
Allen.
World famous, international.
That's the one that's supposed.
Okay. What I'm gonna do is,
That one's not recording.
man, I had to stop for just a second because the amazing, world-renowned Joe Mapp just walked in the door. Tell him hi and tell him your Instagram and all that good stuff. And,
How you guys doing? So I guess since he said world now, I'm supposed to put on some shades and be all Hollywood, but no. I'm Joe Mapp. My Instagram is long and kind of hard to do, so it's ill shots Joe Mapp. That's ILL shots with the S. Joe Mapp, JoeMapp.
We'll put it all in the title. This
It'll be in the title. If you search Joe Mapp, you'll probably find me. I've been shooting for about 3 years. So yeah, that's me.
I asked Joe previously to come on for the beginning of our section, and he was on board, but then a shoot came up, and he's like, hey, Daniel, I'm gonna try to make it, but I gotta shoot. I said, just come on. And it worked out. It worked out. So Joe, thank you.
Thanks for having me.
Man,
Thanks
so
for
much.
inviting me.
But we've been discussing the challenges of being a successful photographer. And I guess one of the things that we were talking about being people on time, people being stressed out or nervous or whatever. In the photography world that we live in now, just name maybe just one or two challenges that you've seen so far in your 3 years of shooting. What are a couple of challenges that you might face, trying to be a successful photographer?
I think one of the biggest challenges is marketing. So figuring out how to market yourself and market your product.
That's a good one.
Even if your work is great, if no one knows you and no one sees it, then you're not going to get
And not
more
only
work.
that, Instagram's changing. I mean,
The algorithm and everything.
They're going from video to still. I mean, they're going away from stills to video.
Yeah.
Right, real stories and.
Yeah.
It's a whole job trying to manage your Instagram and everything and stick out and try to do all types of things. And I see that even like throwing in your personality, like your personal life seems to work out, because I know I've had some people that say, why don't you just outsource some of your work if you can't make it? But it doesn't really work that way, because the people that hire you, they hire you. Yes. They've seen you online. They've seen your personality. If you do behind the scenes, they've seen you work and they want to work with you. So when you get that connection, especially on Instagram, and I had someone book me from TikTok, and I couldn't believe it.
Wow.
Like
TikTok is the new platform.
Yeah. But it's just so much. You gotta
Yes,
make videos,
TikTok.
make backup
Reels,
do all this stuff, put it together and everything. And I'm not a video guy, but I'm getting into it. But that's a big challenge.
I'd be
love that.
watching this. I'd be watching his Instagram.
They love that behind the scenes.
I love it. And that's
love
what that I try to do is I learned from him is I bring my tripod, I bring my phone, I stick it on there, and I'll give you guys some helpful hints, is you shoot your shoot, and then go back and then do the video part of it. Okay, so fake it like you're doing it. But I did a whole session of I did the shot. I said, okay, now we're gonna do video because it's just me. It's easier when there's somebody else is doing it,
Right.
and then they can hold it and do all the cameras. Set the tripod, hit record, and then act like you're shooting. Okay, same thing.
I usually go on live on Instagram
Yeah,
Live.
you could do that.
And you know how it notifies all your followers? I usually say, come join me, or come shoot with me, or even mentioned you. That's a little psychology thing. Because they see it pop on their phone and it's like, Bernice Sierra mentioned you. And then they'll hop in.
I always wonder why people mention me.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Exactly.
you didn't say nothing.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, why are you
But you
calling
tapped
me?
in.
Marketing.
You tapped in because you're like, oh, they mentioned me.
Joe, you said marketing. What do you think, Alan? And Alan, right, you know, Alan's got a magazine that he puts together. He tries to do quarterly or seasonally or something like that. I know the challenges he has marketing, but maybe you might want to tell the YouTube people.
I am this close to hiring a team, a marketing team. And, you know, it might be worth the investment. But you know, I was just thinking about something that you were saying is that I've done videos
Yeah.
and I put them on my YouTube. I got, I'm being modest, 50, 100 views. The person I did the video for has 500,000.
Views or?
Little
Because they
kid,
put it up?
Oh, wow.
little kid's video. And the thing is
Yep.
it's networking, marketing. It's like to get to that audience. For me, that's one of the biggest challenges. I mean, equipment-wise, I feel pretty good about it. Skill-wise, I feel pretty good about it. You know, I'm not the greatest in, I do quite a few things. I'm not the greatest in that, not the greatest in that, but I hold my own.
Right.
But the thing is I'll put stuff out and I'll get 25, 50 views or likes or whatever. And the customer or the person I'm working with, they'll get 500.
Is
1,000.
this YouTube, Instagram, like
A
what
combination
platform?
of YouTube
Okay.
YouTube.
and Instagram. Well, mostly
Yeah.
Instagram.
Okay.
But the 500,000 is YouTube.
Okay.
Is
Phenomenal.
YouTube.
Well, I mean, that counts as you.
It does. Does he tag you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So then.
She.
Oh, excuse me. The clients. Okay.
It was a little person's video and it went crazy.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can I ask you guys what your niche in photography is, or what you prefer to shoot, or what you get booked for more?
That might actually go into our segue of what one of the questions is.
Okay.
Yeah, no, that's a great question. Do the type of clients you shoot gauge your success? And I bounced that question off to you because that's how we got into this forum. Is there's so much that we consider success that if I'm shooting, 100 models or 100, does that gauge my success? If I'm shooting 17 wedding clients a year, does that, let me ask you.
Well, so you're saying your client. Well, as a photographer, I feel that your success with your client would be if they meet what you're looking for.
Okay.
So if they're not paying and it's just a name, is that success? You could shoot a bunch of clients that no one knows and they pay.
Mm-hmm.
You can shoot a bunch of clients that everyone knows and they don't. So from social media and all that, it looks good. Oh, you did this. You look like you're very successful. Your pockets look like this. I'm just keeping it real.
I know.
I have a thing about shooting for free. And a lot of photographers get into the business, they think because they don't have the portfolio or the following or whatnot, that they have to do things for free. And when you do that, you actually hurt the market. It's harder for us that are professionals to ask for our rate that we feel is fair if the client says, well, I can just go over here because they'll do it for free or they'll do it for a lot less because they haven't shot or whatnot. And I would tell new photographers starting out that if you don't know what to charge, you don't feel confident in charging anything at all, work on the craft. It is worth something regardless. If one photographer charges $1,000 for a wedding, they pretty much shoot a certain way and they bring in certain things. But when you pay a photographer $5,000 for a wedding, they're able to freely move about. So if Alan was paid a certain amount, he can bring in a team that would help him achieve that he wants. You know, he can bring in
we just discussed this.
That's where it, because the client thinks that if they're paying you $5,000, it's just going to you. No. That's the team that shows up that makes this all work. You know, as a photographer, you can't be doing hair and makeup. You can't be doing wardrobe checks, you know, and then you running around, the camera's sitting here, and you changing light, you have to keep coming from behind the camera to change. But when you have that team, and then you look at larger production, that's the team. Why does a movie set cost so much? The team, you know.
We have a team here right
Exactly,
now.
exactly.
You know, this isn't just us.
Yeah.
You know, we have a team behind the cameras.
Right. But if we didn't have the team, who's getting up to
I'd have to
change
go
that,
over
you
there
know?
and do what Justice
Right.
is doing over there and stuff, or do what Butter's doing over here.
You know, then-
I'm sorry, you were going to say
Bernice?
something because as soon as I said client,
So
no names. Don't say
no,
no
I'm not
names.
dropping any names. But about 3 years into my journey, I had the opportunity to shoot some big artists, and I shot them for free. And obviously they didn't pay me, but all I asked was for them to tag me. They did not. I've had record labels not pay on time. I had some peers who shot for record labels and went on tour and everything, and tour is Q3, quarter 3, which is the summertime, typically pre-COVID. And in November, they were still waiting on their tour checks. So I stopped shooting in that industry. I felt like it was more shooting for clout versus getting paid, because if they're posting my images without even tagging me, I don't receive anything from that, regardless if whoever's name it was. So I just completely stopped with that industry altogether, and I gravitated towards the people that were paying me. So that's why the question, does your clients gain your success? It depends on what success is to you. My success was pockets versus dollars versus notoriety, or versus clout or fame, being like a famous photographer. So that's just how I wanted to answer that question,
no,
because
I like that.
sometimes big names don't equal checks or even notoriety, because some people will post your images and not tag them. But now I've seen a shift in that industry where more of these people are starting to tag the whole team: makeup artist, wardrobe stylist, hair, makeup, and the photographer. So I'm sure that it's been mentioned before and it's had huge conversation in that space.
You
I'm
know,
kinda-
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
I'm kind of flipped. I'm kind of on a flip side of what you guys are talking about. So when I started, I didn't do TFP, what you call it. I mean, it says it. But the more that I shoot, I'm doing more trade for print photos, and I'm actually getting more work. So I'll give you an example. I kind of like flip this a whole nother way.
That's fine.
So if I did a trade for print shoot for someone, I need to know what to do with the photos in order to make the money for me. You know, in order for it to work for me, I had another friend that was asking me a question about, well, why would you charge so much for a shoot? And I said, hey, let me tell you something. If I did a shoot for you, right, for your clothing line, and you don't know what to do with the photos, that's on you. Now, if I did the same shoot for, let's say, Nike, and Nike pays me 20 grand for a shoot, which I don't have haven't done a shoot like that yet.
If
But-
you do, call us.
Yeah, you know, we can work some things out.
I'll behind the scenes do like a mug.
If Nike paid me 20, 30, 40 grand for a shoot, they know how to market those photos to make money. They know what they're going to do with those photos or videos. They know what they're going to do. So if I were to do, I told him, I'm not charging you $20,000, but if I'm charging you $500 for this shoot, the fact that you don't know how to market the photos, that's on you. That don't have anything to do with me.
You're not a marketing agent. You're a
Right.
photographer.
No, I'm
Exactly.
a photographer.
Correct.
So I do trade for print shoots every now and then now, but those aren't my clients. So the people that I might do a free, it's not really free because they're coming in with wardrobe, they're coming in with makeup, they're coming in with a lot of knowledge and a lot of experience. So usually those are agency signed models. Now my clients, they pay. I haven't, since I started, I haven't really had trouble with finding paying clients because I go get my clients. I don't wait for them to come to me.
Joe's work is amazing, just so you know. That's the reason why I wanted him to come and talk on this thing, okay? I'm sorry.
Thank you. But I go and get my clients. I go and ask for the business. I don't sit back and just wait for somebody to call me. And I'm trying to, marketing like you're saying, that's like I was saying, that's hard.
Let me ask you, and for the YouTube audience and stuff, are you full-time photographer or are you full-time, part-time? In other words, you work at 8 to 5 and then you shoot on the weekend.
I'm part-time.
Okay.
I'm very part-time. I only shoot maybe 7, 8 shoots a month. That's all I can really do because you get a full-time job
And kid, right?
and then a full-time wife. You can't be full-time photographer too. One of them gonna have to go, and the wife not going. She's not gonna go for that. So
That's a good
I
challenge
shoot
right there.
part-time, but yeah,
Let me write that down.
What'd you say?
I got a question. That's why. Go ahead. I'm
Okay.
sorry.
Yeah, I mean, free shoots with the right person is going to, I mean, Nike, like we said, Nike's not taking pictures of me wearing shoes. They're going to go get professional models. Yeah. And what I've seen and noticed is the prettier and the more professional and the experienced models or people you have on your page, the more you will get booked.
Listen to that. Hopefully, Alan will edit that and put it in the little captions or something. Alan's my
My
cut.
face
Alan's
is
my
not
cut
going
guy.
to. My face is not going to get you any work. So if you shoot me and you post it, I'm not going to get 500 likes, and your page will get 500 likes. But if you go get a professional model that really knows how to really market your brand as a photographer,
Joe.
you're going to
All
get
right, Joe, dropping some
more
knowledge
people
here.
that are going to want to say, "Hey, this person knows what he's doing."
Let me
Go ahead,
Let
Alan.
me ask
Go
you a
ahead.
question. Are the free shoots about expanding yourself and opening up additional doors? I mean, it's one thing
Oh, yeah.
if you're doing weddings or you're doing shots in the park. Okay, maybe no TFP for that. But if you want to move into doing Nike, or if you want to move into doing some things, you need to collaborate with people who can get you to another level to open up some doors so that they see you. Is that kind of
That's
what
exactly what it is, because the people that I'm shooting for free, they have their own business that they're running. So they are a model or they're with an agency. That's a business to business relationship that we're both going towards the same things.
Okay.
So I don't go grab somebody off the street and then go shoot them for free.
Do
I think
they
that's-
acknowledge you once they post your image?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I
It's
think that's a
tagged,
key element.
Everything. Yeah.
That's a huge. Go ahead,
Yeah.
Alan. That's a
No,
huge
no, I was
key.
gonna say that. I think that when you said you were coming at it a different way, I think that's the flip.
Right.
For what you were saying. I mean, if I'm doing something and I'm trying to, I say make a name for myself, but I've been doing it, then I'm not gonna do TFP for
Right,
it.
right.
But if I'm trying to break into another area, or if I'm trying to break into video, I'm gonna try to work with people who can open up doors
Right.
so that I can be seen. I did the little kids video. I got some followers behind that and more activity. It kind of died off because
Yeah.
there was no more kids stuff.
Right, right.
But I mean, I saw where the door opened up. I'm working with someone now that I'm working with this lady because she's an event planner. And she's in a very, I'm trying to think of how to put it, be politically correct, but it's a niche in what she does.
Right.
And I'm like, if I can get into that, then that opens up me, Daniel, Darian. It could potentially open it up for all of us, because we're not gonna walk in that door and just say, hey, can I do a wedding?